Okay, we got Kevin the Sound here, and you guys have no idea where we're at right now. We are at we're at the world famous Scripps Institute in San Diego, California, La Jolla, filling up, well, affirmations of a cure for the coronavirus, you guys. Yeah, there's a big old ocean out there, but they're a little hard to carry this big of a tote to the ocean. So they want you to first, the sign says to wash out your tote, even if you've had salt water in it, and just wash it out. And they have a drain here that gets filtered before it goes back into the ocean. So that's what we're doing. Because, well, in the rest of the world that doesn't live near the beach, we can't even go to the beach. That's how bad this coronavirus scare is. Okay? And today, there's 2 million, almost 2,400,000 people on the planet that have been diagnosed with the coronavirus. Not just the antibody, the actual coronavirus. There's over 159,000 people that have died of the coronavirus so far. But there's 9.6 million people that have died of cancer, it was the anaerobic virus of cancer that we discovered. Why cancer even exists and why it wants to proliferate and kill its host is what we discovered in proton spin technology, and me in general. Okay, that same anaerobic bacteria or virus has a lot of potential, considerably of what it's capable of doing versus what the coronavirus can do. So now I brought Formula U off the shelf, basically, and I tune the frequencies, raise the potential even higher above cancer potential, to make sure that I've got an affirmation of hope in a pursuit to a cure, to eradicate the coronavirus. Not a vaccine. This is not a vaccine. It's not a medicine. It's an element. I make that very, very clear. USDA, FDA, organic element under OMRI organic processes, and we're doing our best to follow food safety guidelines, because I understand food safety guidelines all the way up to terrorism, because I was one of the first packing houses and farming operations in the United States of America to be dedicated organic, 44,000 square feet, 1,400 acres of organic citrus on the citrus organic side board of Sunkist and Chamara. Okay, two very large marketing companies. Sunkist, by the way, just so you know that, Sunkist is the largest marketing company in the world, and Chamara is the second, just so you know that. That's pretty impressive. Okay, so Kevin's doing the work while I'm doing the deed. So he's finished washing out, and then we're filling. The containers have only ever had water in them. They just have a little dirt on the outside, but the inside is relatively clean. And it's going to get filtered anyway. So we're doing our best effort at what I have available to me, because I'll say it again, Sally Ann Scarpella, Supreme Court Justice, Manhattan, New York, is my trustee on my wealth portfolio, but I am 100% vested. I paid off over 1 million homes for you guys during the housing breakdown, and I'm very proud of that. I'll repeat it 1 million times until you fully get it of the person that I am. I'm not a philanthropist, that's for sure. They give away their money out of guilt. I'm a humanitarian. I make sure that my money goes to good humanitarian purposes. So there's over 1 million homes that people got their keys during the housing breakdown. And I wrote the lawsuit so it got fixed. Never happened again. That's why you guys got a circuit breaker this time. That's why they called it a circuit breaker, because this fucking nutbag here made sure that the rules were solidified in court. And you can thank Supreme Court Justice Sally Ann Scarpella, because in Manhattan, because she honored the rules. She made every single bank subordinate to BlackRock. Ultimately subordinate to me in the rules. I'm very happy to own 3 Supreme Court wins under proper persona in my handwriting, backed by 50 United States of America attorneys and Condoleezza Rice and Barack Obama. Okay, I'm very fucking proud of that. However, I've lived in famine all these years, and my lab, $500 million lab, was ripped off by me by a guy named Scott Wingrove. If that lab was not ripped off, not one person would have died from China. If I get this right. I'm gonna get it right whether you like it or not, Mr. fucking coronavirus. Because I'm at 7 pH right now, and I can raise that pH to 30. I can raise that potential really, really high. And that's all you really need to know. So we're just given a baseline, a real clean, the cleanest I can do at the moment baseline. I'm pretty sure 5 drops under your tongue will get rid of the coronavirus. I'm pretty sure of that. I can't prove that to you yet, but I will be able to prove that to you very shortly, because we have human trials starting. FDA-USDA human trials. And this is the announcement of that. There's going to be a full-page ad in the Union Tribune in San Diego, and we're going to give away 1,700 vials of 20 grams of Formula U. That's weight by volume index rhodium, because rhodium has an elliptic shell in its electron, and so does Formula U, element 1. Okay. That's a $5,700 bottle that we're giving away for free. And I'm very proud of that, because I want to see if it works. I need empirical data. And after 1,700 people and 500 people on the ship of USS Theodore Roosevelt, and if that's the case, then well, then it's game on. But we have a price. We have a price for humanity. I'm not going to extort the coronavirus. I promise you. It's going to be fair market. We might be as low as $200 a dose. That would be phenomenal. That would blow pharma out the door. They can't get you a vial of fucking psychiatric pills for under $1,800 a month. Sick bastards. I'd be more than happy to go up against pharma. More than happy. Anyway, that kind of talk gets you killed, and I know that. Politically, financially, and literally, because they don't like that shit. You end up in the hospital, you got a cold, next thing you know, you got injected with a virus or something. That's how they work. So, good luck. Let's see where we're at.
Might as well make sure it clears before it gets too heavy to do anything about it.
Right.
I got some B-roll with the bubbles and the fill line.
So, you ever heard the story, a cricket can start a storm in the forest? Mm-hmm. I always adorn weather in general. We've got some empirical data of some weather anomalies that I can't prove, but they're just empirical data. But one time I was at Oceanside Pier, right? Right off of, right next to the pier. I can't remember the name of the street. Next to my favorite beach. And it was just about to rain, you could tell. You could feel it in the air. And I took 2 wrenches, a 9/16 wrench and an 11/16 wrench, right? And I sat on the hood of my car and I just went ding, and I pinged them. As soon as I pinged them, it started raining. And I was like, okay, there's the cricket in the rain, because it was dead silent.
Yeah.
And I just thought, well, maybe that's a true story. Or maybe I just got lucky. Or maybe it was empirical data. Or maybe it was just luck. Who cares?
I think we may be able to just use a hose with a hose clamp on this. It looks like it's...
No, that's the thread. Where's the cap? Look at that.
It wasn't lovely, but...
No, that's the thread.
This one's fine. The other one is a coarse thread. These are different manufacturer.
Yeah, we need to have that on there. So what we can do is when we get to the shop, I'll tap one with a hose bib.
Okay. That makes sense.
And then we'll put a transfer pump on it. They have a really nice transfer pump at Harbor Freight I was looking at today for $62 that has hose in and out.
Yeah.
It's got 42 inches of lift.
Okay.
Yeah, and I thought that would be a nice transfer pump. This thing can just sit on the ground and we put a toggle switch on it and be down the road motors. That's an easy thing to adapt. Because they're a little dangerous trying to lift these things up with a forklift.
Oh yeah.
Or a pallet jack forklift as it is. But because we're so concentrated, this normally, Kevin, the big systems in Drink Me, right? In the Wicked This Way, if something comes, we're pushing 1,000 gallons a minute. But it's technically like a raindrop versus 1,000 gallons of Formula U in there. There's not, but it's there. We got approval by the United States, by the federal government, or by the governor of California, to be the only company to draw dirty well water, clean it to check 21 standards, which is I'll get you on camera so we both talk about this. Check 21 standards, okay? That's rainwater standards from Mount Shasta. Taking the dirty well water, cleaning it so well, pumping it back into the California aqueduct. Today, there's over 60 systems now at 1,000 gallons a minute that all need new hydrogen fuel cells on them, okay, to bring them up to drink. But basically, we could give everybody in California the cure if this works within a period of time, or up the fresh drinking water situation. But the bottom line is those systems are already out and running, and we've got approval from the government. We got approval from the water authority who sells to your local authorities, and everybody's on board. And the farmer and those systems, because we've cleaned the water so efficiently and effectively, the farmer is pumping all in $400 an acre foot, selling at $1,200 an acre foot, the cheapest water in California. Every 3.5 hours is making $800 profit. That's a 9-month ROI on those systems. Plus the salty brine, we converted that to fuel for the farmers in their diesel tanks at 17 cents a gallon, and or organic certified fertilizer on both processes. Bloomy Fuels and the organic fertilizer is OMRI listed organic. So now the farmers got fuel, fertilizer, water, money, okay, and they got water credits because they're able to farm on what was registered fallow fields. They could take that water credit and farm on another piece of property where they normally couldn't buy those water credits. If that's not a win-win, super win, I don't know what is. Okay, the farmer doesn't have to lift a finger during the time that he's waiting for his crop to grow to try to find futures on the stock market to pay his laborers and stuff. That's huge. That is so huge. And then when his crop comes in, he's pretty much all profit, because the water bill is subdued and paid by the selling of the water on his off time. So he is fat and happy. And I'm very proud to be involved in that situation. Okay? This, we're going to do the same thing. But they're going to be a lot. I've learned a lot in 5 years. That's what I can tell you. I've learned a lot. I learn relatively fast, but I've learned quite a bit. So this new desktop reactor, you're going to see something that is, for you guys, the first in the world. But for me, it's passé. But I need to be passé right now so I can have some proof and empirical data for you, so you can understand where we're going. Because I kind of got my idea. Let's just say I have my own fantasies in this situation. If I'm right on the USS Theodore Roosevelt and they all get vacation in San Diego, I want to tune up that nuclear reactor on that board of that thing, if you know what I mean. Yeah. I want to tune up that nuclear reactor badly. Very, very badly. Okay.
I think
Just fill it up.
225.
Yeah.
900 liters.
900 liters.
So I was told that's the capacity of these, but I
It's
guess
225 gallons. It's 1,000 liters.
is that a kiloliter?
It's 1,000 liters.
A kiloliter. Kiloliter.
Well, it's better than a. Never mind. It's close enough to one of those you can never find. So the water coming out here is pre-filtered, so you don't get any mollusks or anything, and no sand or anything. So it's pretty nice. It's just a really nice thing that Scripps does. I mean, they don't need to do this, but they obviously can afford to. It's unfortunate. All the bungalows right now are all closed down. I mean, it's pretty sad. So what we're doing and trying to accomplish, I don't know. I have no idea what the outcome is going to be, but that's the beauty of applied physics, United States and the world, is that, Your Honor, in applied physics, you set up what you know, you do your best, and you study the results. And science is true, whether you like it or not. So far, I got too much, and too high of a profile to not do this. If I didn't do this, and I worked on my other things and ignored this, when everybody knows that I'm an anaerobic virus or anaerobic bacteria aficionado, I'd be less than a dick. And I know that. So there's some byproducts out of my experiments here. My experiments. I just made up a new word, damn it. My experiments. My respective understandings of my experiments. My experiments. Okay. Is that we're being able to potion a nice potion for the EB community for topical wound care. Even better than an innovative hydrotherapy tub. So we're going to donate $1 million bottle to the EB community, and the lady knows who she is, and the butterfly, okay, in Australia, and she's going to be stoked. She's going to be stoked when she finds out what she's going to get in the mail. Okay. So, how are we doing?
There's bed holes in it, so I don't want to fill it all the way up.
No, that's good enough. I mean, that's more than plenty.
Because if it sloshes, it's gonna.
If we fill up this and juice this at market, that'll be okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there was your update for the USS Theodore Roosevelt and the coronavirus in general. The funny part is, the Theodore Roosevelt is floating in the sea of the cure. Cheers. It will end up being a ghost ship if we don't do anything, and I respect that. Talk to you later. The Mercedes is going.